I'm here with Dominic Pride. He's a Pride man.
Indeed, Pride man as well.
A Pride and Bride. So we're talking about the book event that we're doing at Old Wings on March 19th. This is the future of books and publishing, and very happy to work with Dominic on this, because what we see in books is that we're worried that it's going to go the same direction as music, which means everybody uses, nobody pays.
Indeed. Indeed.
So what we want to talk about is what we think is a way to get paid for content in the future, for book content, for publishing, what the new ways are, and what findings from the music industry, as we're seeing now, basically half the size, the industry is half the size as 10 years ago.
Indeed.
And it's dwindling, even though digital is booming, but it's not enough. So new models are needed, and what can we learn from music? I think there's a few things that haven't been discussed, and I'm sure you would agree.
Definitely. I think some of the things that haven't been discussed so far are the fact that we're already in an environment where customers dictate, and it's important to recognize that what we are now seeing is artists coming on the stage here at Medem, where we currently are, and they are explaining how they are using digital technologies to find an audience. And increasingly, this is going to be the kind of situation that publishers find themselves in, that the authors themselves are digital natives. So we're beginning to see a realization on the part of the music industry that they will be signing digital natives, helping them get their product to market, and beginning to see that they can play a role in mediating the conversations between the authors, the creators, and the audience.
I quoted a thing from Google on my speech, and I had a speech on Sunday on the future of content, and I quoted a thing from the Google CEO, Eric Schmidt, saying that basically what we have to do is figure out where the future is going and how we can adapt to it, rather than the other way around, right? So
yeah.
What needs to happen, and this is a really important point, I think, for our entire conversations about the future of books and publishing, to say, okay, where are things going? Where are 4 billion people going to take us?
Mm-hmm.
And take that learning and say, backwards from there, how can we make it work?
For sure.
Rather than the other way around of saying, we'd like to do this, so how can we get people to do it?
Yeah.
Right? And this is, I think, it's a top line point.
Definitely. And I think if we can trace some of the things that the music industry might want to do again, it's the process that they went through for nearly 10 years of criticizing and admonishing and suing their customers for doing something which the record industry perceived as being wrong. It was wrong in their eyes, and yes, technically it was illegal. But the fact that customers were doing it and increasingly wanting to share music demonstrated that there was a legitimate need for two things: for customers to share music in the internet environment, and secondly, for access to unlimited content. And once that need is created, it never goes away. You can legislate against it, you can criticize it, you can make it socially unacceptable. However, the need doesn't go away. So what's been thought won't be unthought. The behaviors that have been learned won't be unlearned. And I think this is one of the key learnings that we can bring back to the book business, is that this is the way your customers will behave. Follow it, follow the conversations, follow the activity, and then learn how you can monetize that activity. Because where you've got audience, where you've got traffic, where you have conversation, it will do two things. It will add value to your product and actually be promotion for your product. And secondly, there is an opportunity to monetize the audience.
Good. So what we're going to do at the event, we're going to show a bunch of trends from around the world leading in this direction of finding the new way of making money, monetizing content here. A couple new ideas, technology, for example, that drives adoption of this kind of content, like mobile phone applications, what's happening there. We're going to talk about stuff and statistics that we see from there, how people use this. We're going to talk about price points. We're going to talk about stuff that obviously went wrong and what else could be done. We're going to talk about the idea of copyright and making money from access rather than copies. And there'll be a mix of different things. So we're going from the 50,000 foot level, all the way from the top level, how can 4 billion people make money for us, so to speak, all the way down to the action items in those 3 hours. And of course, Clive Rich from Rich Futures, formerly from Sony BMG, will join us in finding those facts and compiling them for you, the audience. So we're looking forward to see you there.
Certainly.